I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and I am sitting next to the beautiful, stunning, pregnant woman, Sarah Beeston, everybody.
Really hyping me up.
I'm hyping you up. You're the cutest pregnant person literally
so
ever. Sweet. And I finally got you on the podcast.
I know. Josie's been trying to track me down for a while.
For a hot minute. There was a time where I sent a message and I unsent it because I was like, it's been too long. I'm embarrassed. My ego hurt.
You unsent it?
No, it was like 2 years ago, I think.
Here's the thing. It wasn't on purpose. Just don't look at my DMs.
You're just a busy girl.
We connected in person.
Well, it was after Mixers St. George. That's the first time I met you, but I didn't. I was so pregnant. Gosh. I looked like Shrek, so you probably don't recognize me. I look like that's what I'm telling you.
No, I remember meeting you.
I look completely different. And I was like, oh my gosh, Sarah and Lo, I'm so excited to finally meet them. And then that's when I shot my shot with you guys via DM was when I got back. And neither of you saw it. And I said, this is embarrassing. So I unsent it.
Yeah.
But now here we are. So it's fine.
It came around. It worked. And it was really just a lack of me ever looking at my DMs.
No, you're like I said, you're so busy.
So bad.
You have 2 children. You're pregnant.
Yes.
You run a YouTube. You have a podcast. All the things. Like it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So now I finally get a dumpster deep dive.
Yay! Dumpster deep. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to ask you all the questions. So are you ready?
I think I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start from the very beginning.
Okay.
Sarah, where are you from?
Like, where was I born?
Yeah, where were you born? Okay. And where did you grow up?
Okay, I was born in Provo.
Okay.
Super original.
You're a Utah girl.
Here in Utah, like at the heart, you know?
Yeah.
And then I grew up most of my life in Linden, not London. I have said this. You don't understand how many times people have thought I'm from London and they're like, where's your accent?
Like, I don't know.
And where is it? Where is it? I lost it. No, but Linden, it's like this little town in between. We don't
like
need
Pleasant
to talk about
Grove
it.
and Provo,
if you don't know Utah, then you don't.
You wouldn't know. It's teeny tiny.
A teeny tiny little place. So I spent most of my time there, and now we're currently
living where you live.
Living where I live. I'm not gonna say that, actually.
I'm like, do you want to drop your address?
I'm glad you gave me that like little eye look because I got pregnancy brain going on. So
I was like, are we gonna have to cut that part out or what?
Now we live where we live happily.
Now you live where you live happily. I love that for you in Utah.
Yes, Utah. I am a Utah girl through and through. I've been through. I've seen Utah in all of its glory. Also lived away from Utah. We were in Hawaii for a while. So
that's right. You did have time away.
We got out a little bit.
Is your family big and small? I know you have your brother.
Yeah. Brother.
Who else is in the family?
Mom, dad, sister passed away.
Right.
I've talked about that on our podcast and I think a couple times on my social media. I don't bring it up like a ton, but it has been talked about, so people know. But
and I do want to talk about that.
And we can. And we totally can.
So, but right now it's just you and your brother.
Just me and my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So growing up, were you as bubbly and like free-spirited and chill as you are now?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've changed a whole lot, but
were you in the middle?
I was a baby.
Oh, you're the baby.
I'm the baby. People always say the spoiled baby, but I don't know.
You don't think you were spoiled?
I mean, I think to like an extent, but not like, I don't know. I still feel like my parents put a good head on my shoulders, if that makes sense.
Were you a good kid? I feel like you were probably a really good kid.
I was a really good kid. I feel like during my teen years, I had a lot of rules growing up.
Okay. Because you were raised LDS.
Raised LDS.
Are you still LDS?
Yes, I consider myself still LDS. There's always like things.
You're probably not as strict LDS as you were when you were 13.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think there's definitely like things that I really agree with and things I don't agree with. And but
raised very much in that bubble.
Yes. Oh yes. And my parents are still very much everything, which is great.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but today's episode is brought to you by Mink Couture. You guys know how much I love a good, soft, cuddly blanket. You guys have seen me and my guests snuggle up in our Minky blankets. We are huge Mink Couture fans over here. Everyone needs to have something as cozy as Minky in their home. There is nothing like coming home after a long day and cuddling up with a soft Mink Couture blanket. They are so soft, so luxurious. It feels like you're snuggling a cloud, okay? Mink Couture has the largest selection of colors, patterns, and sizes on the market. Whether you want like a fun, loud, crazy print or a classic chic color, they have it all. They are the creators of the original Hugs blanket, a double-sided, stretchy, and plush style that literally hugs you back. By far my favorite blanket that Miki has to offer. I gift them to everybody. One thing I love about Mink Couture is it's a female-founded business started by a mother who wanted to provide luxurious comfort to her daughter during a tough time. Since 2009, Mink Couture has been able to bring comfort and luxury to homes all over the world. Passionate about giving back to their community, they give over 30,000 mini Minkies to NICUs across the country every year. As a fellow NICU mom, I received my own little mini Minky, and it was such a kind, generous gift while I was in the hospital during such a stressful time. And it meant so much to me as a new-time mom and as a third-time mom. Literally every single one of my babies, I got a mini Minky blanket. And lucky for you guys, I've partnered with Mink Couture to bring a comfort and luxury into your home by offering listeners an exclusive 50% off discount. That's right, 50% off at checkout when you use code WEEKLYTRASH. So go to softminkyblankets.com and use the code WEEKLYTRASH for 50% off your next purchase. And treat yourself to the best blanket ever and follow them on Instagram for additional deals and updates at Mink Couture. Thanks, Minky, for sponsoring today's episode.
Like, we had a lot of rules, and I think a lot of that was just, like, my parents trying to protect me looking back now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like now I can, but as a teenager, I was like, this is.
Was it, like, curfew rules? Was it, like.
We had a little curfew rules. We
no
had
showing shoulders.
Oh, we had those rules.
No bikinis.
Yes, we had no bikinis.
Could you wear tankinis?
I had tankinis, yeah,
Okay,
but the tankinis always covered
the whole torso. Yeah.
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
I love that tankinis are coming back in.
They
right
are.
Now. I have a couple now. I'm like, why did I not rock
pregnancy,
this back then?
they're kind of bummed because when you have to go pee every 5 seconds in a
So true.
swimsuit.
So true,
then,
but you don't want to like wear the full bikini.
Yeah, because then
sometimes.
your bump will get sunburnt so fast.
Yes.
So like you got to protect it.
Exactly.
Yeah, tankinis are cool.
They are cool. Now
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, showing up at the pool party in a tankini at 16 was a little bit of a bummer.
A little bit. If I could even attend the pool party, because
okay, you couldn't do that.
No hanging out with boys till I was 16. That was like hanging out. Like, I wasn't allowed to hang out in a group setting with boys. My mom's gonna kill me.
Really?
She already knows. I feel like I've said this on the podcast, and we have a really good relationship right now. So we're
great.
We're good.
Great.
We're past all this.
Did you have a good relationship in high school? Were you really resentful?
We did. Like, we had a good relationship. We just like fought a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's normal kind of teenage behavior. Like, if you ask parents, I'm scared for my teen years just because of how it was with, or for my kids to be in their teen years. But no, we had a good relationship. We would like travel to go to tennis tournaments together, and we were like acting like best friends. But then we'd come home and fight about like, I can't hang out with this group of friends because there's a boy there, blah blah blah, you know. But
you were respectful. You always followed the rules. You didn't like sneak out to hang out with the boys.
I snuck out a couple of times.
Okay,
like, a couple of times.
Sarah Beeston, a little
but got grounded a lot.
Okay.
So
were you a good student?
I was a good student. Yeah, I got good grades. I played tennis.
You played tennis in high school?
In high school. Yep.
And then did you play college?
I did for a year.
Oh, okay.
For a year, and then I quit.
Where at?
BYU.
BYU. So you went to BYU.
Went to BYU for a year. I went to UVU straight out of high school. I went to UVU for a year because I wasn't sure where I wanted to play tennis. And there were like a couple of schools kind of.
Wait, did you play with Macy then?
I did. That's where I met. Yeah, that's where I met.
Are you guys the same graduating class? Or would have been the same graduating
she was
class?
there, I think, the year before me.
Okay.
And then I met her the year that I came in.
Gotcha.
She was back in.
Gotcha.
Or maybe she was there 2 years before me. Not really sure on that. But yeah, we played together for a year, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Was it just too much?
Quit. Like, my year, there was a lot of team drama. And
the juice.
Just a lot of, honestly, I feel like even people that went to school to BYU that year were like, oh yeah, they were kind of a wreck that year.
Was that the year that Macy got pregnant?
No.
Okay, so it was a different year. There's a lot of years.
It was a different year.
Is it just tennis in general that's drama, or was it like everyone?
I didn't really know what was going on with the other sports. I just was like, I was dating Derik at the time, and I was like, this is too much for me. Too much for my mental health going on. I wasn't ever really a part of the drama, which was nice, but it was just like being surrounded
with
it all the time. Yeah, and I was like, I don't have time for this. It made it like not fun to play kind of. So and Derik was also wanting to go to medical school.
Okay.
At that point. So then I was like, okay, I should probably get a job if you're going to go to medical school.
Yeah.
So then I dropped out after a year.
So you don't, so not college. Only did you quit tennis, but you're like, I'm also quitting school. Okay, that's fine. Slay. I didn't even go to college, so
you didn't?
No. Oh, didn't even go to college.
Did you just straight out of high school? You're like, I'm
straight out of high school.
What did you do?
I ain't got no money, so I'm not going to get in debt. Are you joking? Are you joking me? I'm gonna go into debt to get F's in college? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I got a 1.9 in high school, Sarah. So school, I was not academically smart.
Did your parents care?
Oh no, my parents hated me. No, we want to. If we want to talk about if I was a good kid. No.
I kind of do want to know.
No, I was kind of naughty. I was a naughty kid. That's the thing. I wasn't really that naughty. I wasn't like doing drugs or drinking, but like I was like having sex. And,
I'm like confess.
I'm like here,
Bishop, right now.
Bishop
Switch it on you.
No, I was not about to go to college. Are you kidding? Yeah. So I was a nanny. I did like the whole nanny thing, which prepared me for motherhood, which was great.
No, seriously, you probably had like a good idea of what it took to raise kids.
Okay, before we fast forward, because I do want to talk about literally everything in your life. So I do want to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So your sister passed away when you were 13, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind talking about that? Like what happened? How old was she?
Yeah. So she was 20 years old.
Oh, so there was a big age gap between you two.
Yeah. So there was, 7 years. It could have been 8. Honestly, kind of fuzzy. But so she was 20. She was just on her way. She went to UVU, so she was just on her way to school, and there was a car that was texting and driving and, like, kind of missed their exit. This is from what people say that, like, saw the accident happen, but they were going to miss their exit to get off, and so they, like, cut over all the lanes to get off the exit, and then my sister just happened to be, like, the car that was in that.
Yeah.
You know, so she swerved and hit a semi, and then, was it?
Oh my gosh. So it was straight from impact.
Yeah.
She didn't go to the hospital after.
Well, that was like the weird part is, because obviously I was so young that like, I thought like there was still like a chance that she was like, okay, you know, because she was on life support. She had, and it's crazy because like her car looked like a crunched like piece of metal, but she like looked fine. She had like a couple of scratches, like, kind of a miracle, honestly.
Wow.
But like, so when I saw her like at the hospital, obviously we went straight there and she was on life support, but she looked like fine, you know? So I was like, okay, like I think she's gonna be okay.
She'll
like
make it.
Especially because I was like 13 and I was like, this isn't real. Like what? Like she's fine. She's just gonna wake up. But yeah, it was, I think from what they say, like the impact, like she was gone when it happened.
Were you at home? Like,
no, I was at school. I was at junior high, and my brother and I were both at the school. And so we got, you know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we both got called. They were like, we need Ryan and Sarah Clever to come down to the office. And then I, literally being the dumb, like, little sister that I am, like, looked at Ryan when we both came out of, like, our classrooms, and I saw him, and I was like, what did you do? Like, what? Why are we in trouble? Like,
why are we getting in trouble?
Why are we going to the office? And then my aunt was there to pick me up, and she's like, we gotta go to the hospital. Like, Amanda's been in an accident. And I was just kind of like, I didn't know the extent.
Yeah.
You know?
So it wasn't until you got there, were your parents telling you guys like say goodbye, or was it more like, let's wait it out?
Honestly, like I feel like it's kind of a blur.
Yeah,
I can't remember a ton, but I remember it. I knew it was way worse than I thought also, like when I got there, because like my parents were just like a wreck, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, is this like, but in my head, I was still like, she's going to wake up.
Yeah.
That's what I just kept thinking. But I remember they let us like go in, like hold her hand, like spend time with her. And then, I think that was like when it started to sink in of like, oh, this is it. Like we're saying goodbye. And I think my parents like wanted us to like kind of get out of there as fast as we could. And so we like got sent to like my cousin's house for, couple of days, I think, after that, just to like my parents could get they had so many people like coming to the house, like
sure.
getting stuff ready, helping out, like all the things. So
were you and your sister close?
Very, yeah.
Because 20 and 13, she's probably like a little mom to you.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, we would spend tons of time together. I'm like, I'm gonna get through this without crying, okay?
Hey, if you do, it's okay. You're also pregnant, so
I know. I'm like, the hormones. No, can't do it.
No, it's okay.
I am doing better than on our episode of this. I was like, I don't know if you saw even the like thumbnail of it, but I was like, I don't look like the same person from crying. Anyway.
Well, this is a very hard thing to talk about.
Yeah, no, we were like really close, and I think that's like, people are like, oh, but your age gap was so big. I'm like, no, we spent so much time together. Yeah, she was like always with me, and I would like sleep over at her house at college, and like, yeah, it's kind of rough, but.
Oh, that's really hard. Did you and your brother really bond during that time together, or did you feel distant from each other because you're both grieving?
Oh, my whole family was so distant. Like, everyone was like on their own like wavelength of like, but like we were never wanting to be together kind of a thing.
I'm gonna grab you one more just so that way you have
they're just flowing.
No, you're pregnant. You're pregnant, and this is sad. Like, this is sad.
No, I think like Ryan and I, we didn't have like a very good relationship at that time anyway. It was just like that typical like we just bugged the crap out of each other. Like, you're just annoying. Yeah, exactly. So like we just fully went like our separate ways of grieving, and like my parents, same thing. Like the whole house was just kind of like split in half. But
and that's hard too, because at 13, because there's no guidebook on how to grieve. Everyone is grieving differently. You have parents that are grieving their child. Yeah. Which no parent should ever have to go through that. You have siblings grieving their siblings, and you're all grieving a life that you thought you would have. And it's very shocking, and you have to kind of rebuild what you had, but you can't really ever do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So was there I don't even want to say a game plan, but was there talk of like, okay, this is how we're going to navigate this as a family? Or was it really just like, we're not going to talk about this and everyone just do your thing?
No, literally the second. Yeah. There was no like I wish there had been, I think my mom tried. Like my mom tried to have some like family unity and everything, but like in reality, like my dad was grieving so different than my mom, and my mom was grieving so different than my dad. And like, don't even know where Ryan was. Like, I don't know what, like, no, there was like, we didn't talk about it. It was just like, we don't have a good family dynamic. Like, and at that point I was kind of thinking like, oh, my parents are just going to split up, and that's like what it's going to be.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they are. Like, okay. Which is so crazy, because I'm like, if you had asked me back at that point, I was like, there's no way.
Well, I'm sure it was dark.
There's no way. Yeah. But now they're like, I'm like proud of them for like sticking through it, and they're like still together. But yeah, just while we were in the house, it was just so,
I'm sure,
chaotic and not good. So.
Was the family dynamic really healthy before losing Amanda? It was Amanda, right?
Yeah. Definitely a lot better. Like I think like you said, like stuff like that just like rocks families, and it's like, of course it does. Like it changes everything. But yeah, we like had definitely a better family dynamic before that.
So at 13 years old, you're going through all these changes as a young girl, turning into a teenager.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had anyone that you could like talk to?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I had really good friends. Like, my friends were really close to me, so I feel like.
Are you still close to those friends?
No, it's funny. Like, really? I mean, some of them I still see occasionally, but it's not like my close adult friends aren't the friends that I had back then. But I can like look back and be like, oh, we were close with my mom's extended family, so like have really good aunts and like a grandma, and but it does feel like I'm like, who was there? Like, I think like my mom and my dad were there for me, but just like separately. If that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Like, it wasn't them coming together to help you. It was individually they would find a way. Yeah, or just like I had like a decent relationship with both of my parents like separately. Yeah. Apart from like their relationship together.
And that makes sense.
But that is a very difficult thing to go through, and then also a very difficult time to go through, because teenage years is when you need a family. You need stability.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you and your brother couldn't even be that for each other either, that's really hard. So when was there, if ever, a shift that you guys did start to have unity and maybe heal together?
Honestly, I feel like our family dynamic is really great now. Like, I think obviously like me and my brother are both married now. And, so there's like that level of like, oh yeah, like we're all a good family and like we love being together now. And it's like, we've come a long way from that. But I feel like our family never really like healed from that. And maybe like separately or like individually, like we've each healed a little bit, but like together as a family unit, I feel like we just like got through those years and then that was it.
Do you guys talk
like,
about
we should
her
go
often?
to family therapy.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, she'll come up every once in a while, but like birthdays, like we'll try and do something for her birthday, or like death day, we all kind of ignore. I don't know if that's normal for people that have lost people, but it's like that day comes around and we're all just like, it's not like a happy day. So
no, I think from like the sounds of it, it sounds like you guys haven't really healed that altogether. And so it isn't something, it's still very heavy.
It's almost weird because it's like, what do you do at this point? Like we're all like, I have a family, like my brother's married, like my parents are kind of doing their
like you
thing.
said, what are you going to do? Go to family counseling?
Do we go to family therapy now, or just do we like individually? Like, I feel like that maybe would have been something we needed to do like back when it was happening. But
have you done therapy?
Not for this, like specifically.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm okay with it now. Yeah. Like, I feel like just growing up, I probably could have used it back when I was a teenager, but now I'm kind of like, I mean, there's trauma, but it's not like,
you're like, I went through it, I did it.
I don't feel like it's like affecting me, if that makes sense. No. Like, I don't think about it in like a negative way.
Yeah.
But
was there anything that came out of it that you learned from that you feel like has helped you as an adult?
I think just like the importance of like people. Like, I think you just like are going through life kind of just like, oh, like everything's good. Like, you kind of just have this mentality like everyone's always gonna be there. And I think like knowing that like that's not always true is like it's a good lesson to learn, honestly, because you're like, oh, the people that are important to me, like, let them know that they're important, like my family. Or I think that's mostly like, and I'm sure that's just like a basic answer, but it's just
but it's basic, but it's important.
I think that's probably like and don't text and drive, honestly, like you mother ever, like whoever. I'm like very like pro like do not text and drive.
The person who was responsible for it, did they get prosecuted at all?
They just drove away.
Wait, so you've never been able to find them?
No. No idea.
So this person probably doesn't even know
that they killed someone. This person probably doesn't even know. Like, I think they were so involved in their film. I don't know what was like happening, but no, they never got stopped. Nothing ever happened.
Does that eat you alive?
No.
Or did it?
No, I think like I had anger about it in the beginning, but now thinking about it, I'm like, that probably would have ruined their life too. I think like, yes, I wish they would have learned a lesson of like, don't text and drive, but like, imagine like knowing that you like were responsible for that. I feel like maybe that would have ruined 2 lives. So
that's a very mature way to look at it.
I guess. Sure. I don't know.
But it's like, it's
but
true.
Back then I was like, what the freak? Like, so mad. Of course, like I would want a punishment like back then, just like being in that angry grieving phase. But now I'm like, honestly, if it was just like a girl, like how many times have we changed songs, or like, you know, like everyone has their like little thing, and it's like,
Wait, that is so crazy to think that person drove away, not even seeing the chaos that they caused. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I would hope that they didn't see the chaos they caused, because if they did and they still chose to drive away, that's different.
Oh, totally.
That's very different.
I mean, and I guess we'll never know. But like they could have seen. I have no idea.
Wow.
It's hard to know, but from what we knew, like the car just kept going. So I don't know. Crazy.
I'm so sorry. I know it's been a lot of years, but that doesn't make it less painful. Do you think you hear that a lot with grieving, that time is the biggest help? Mm-hmm. Do you believe that?
In a way, yes. Yeah. Like, I think, yeah, like, because you just, like, move on with your life eventually, and, like, it does heal it, but it's, like, it's not ever, like, always healed. Yeah. You know? Like, it's like how do I describe this? It's like a scar instead of, like, an open wound. Yeah. But it's, like, still there. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like it's almost like a scab. Exactly. That like never goes away, and sometimes you nick at it and it starts to bleed a little bit, and you're like, crap. Yeah, get a Band-Aid. Exactly. Get a Band-Aid. Exactly. Like, somebody help. Yeah, and then it scabs again.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's a good way to describe it. I feel like it's always there. Like, especially with like events and stuff, you just can't. Like, you're like, oh, she should be here for that, or like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna need another tissue.
I got you a whole bunch.
I think it's just like, being pregnant. I'm like,
no.
I wish she was here to see my kids and stuff. Oh man, Josie.
No, you're going to make me cry too. This is because it's not fair. And when you have these milestones like weddings and babies and graduation and things, it is so unfair.
Totally. Yeah.
And you can't help but think, and that's when that scab falls off and it reopens everything all over again. Yeah,
it feels like that's like exactly right. It's just like the big life events that happen that like trigger that you're like, oh frick, like I should be with your kids, you should be with my kids. Yeah. Like,
have you felt her presence ever?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And it's crazy because like I have a little girl named Sunny, and I don't know if anyone knows that, but little girl named Sunny, and we like named her after her middle name is the same as my sister's. We want like a little tribute.
So Sunny Amanda.
Yes. Sunny Marie. So Marie was my mom's middle name and my sister's middle name, and so we just wanted it to be Sunny Marie.
It's beautiful.
But thank you. But she actually doesn't look like me at all. Like, but she looks a lot like my sister, which is crazy.
That is wild.
Like, I don't know how that happened, but we were like pulling out baby pictures, and my mom's like, Sunny looks nothing like you. And I was like, no, actually, she's got none of me. She's got a lot of Derik too. Yeah. But like, she definitely has a lot of my sister, which is really cool. So I'm like, oh, there's like a little.
You get to see her in that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. I feel like I'm snotting and looking like the scariest
you're not. You're not. You're a beautiful crier. You have that going for you. You do. Do you want to take a break for a second, or are you good? Okay. Okay, I'll keep going. We'll pivot a little bit because I don't want to make you cry anymore. And I know,
like, Josie, stop asking me questions. Stop asking,
because I don't want you to feel like fine. I'm pressuring you to talk about something.
No. You're not pressuring me at all. This is good.
And it probably does feel good to cry about it sometimes, because like you said, when you hold it in, because you don't even think about it.
None of us talk about it. I'm like, this is probably why it comes out when I'm like on a podcast, because no one really talks about it.
Have you and your brother talked about it at all?
No, like, not really together. No.
To like see, because do you know his healing process? Like, do you know if he would get this emotional?
I feel like he would get emotional, and I think he'd probably have like the same answers as me. Like, we kind of all just were alone with it. But I mean, we talk about like memories and stuff with her now, and it's like not a big deal. So that's good. Like, we can talk about like good times and like funny things, but we haven't really talked. Yeah. If you're getting the hint, none of us talk to each other about it.
Yeah, no. And sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to get by. Like, when tragedies like this happen, you're in survival mode.
Totally.
And you'll just do whatever you can to get through the next day.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you have moments where you've felt her.
Oh yeah.
Or like seen, like, is there, I know you had a jewelry line and you had butterflies. Because butterflies remind you of her.
Yes. Yeah. And that's like, I don't know why, but it was always like a thing. And we had like a couple of pictures of her at her funeral, and she was like holding butterflies, and so that like I don't always associate that. So like when we were doing her funeral and things, we kept that in mind, and would make butterflies a part of stuff. Like, my mom does a Christmas tree every year that's like our Amanda tree, and she has like butterflies covering it, and then like every time I see a butterfly, I'm like, oh, it's always in those moments, like for weird things where I'm like, I'm seeing so many butterflies right now fly by. So it's just kind of like a little reminder, which is, I mean, obviously butterflies just fly around.
No, but I think it's good to have something.
Yeah.
Did this affect your belief in God at all?
Yeah, I think that was more in like a positive way though.
Okay.
It's like no matter like what I believe in, like that like solidified my like, okay, I know there's like something after this, you know? Like whatever else I believe in, I'm like, there's something. Like spirits are real, like, so yeah, I guess in a way it did. Because before I was just like, yeah, I've been taught that my whole life, but like now I believe it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad that you have that.
Thank you.
Have something to hold on to. I think that's why a lot of people struggle even more is the unknown and not knowing. And you'll never know.
That's really hard. Well, I can't imagine losing someone and like thinking like,
that's it.
That was it. Like that was the last time that that seems so dark to me.
No, it seems very
dark. I'm like,
it's very dark.
I can see why. And it makes it harder too.
No, I think for sure you'll see her again. I think she's in your life all the time.
Yeah.
I think, especially probably when you have babies, I'm sure she's in that room.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure she's cheering you on.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna start crying though, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
Oh, you don't want to cry? That's funny.
I'm like, actually, we're gonna change the subject for me.
I'm just kidding. Oh, you don't want to look like this over here?
Actually, for me personally, I think we're gonna change the subject.
Okay.
No, but I appreciate you sharing that because,
of course,
I think there's a lot of people going through loss in their life, whether it's a sibling, a child, a parent, and everyone grieves differently. And I think some people feel like I can't be happy.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that?
Yeah. I mean, there are days, and then it's like if I did find myself being really happy, I was like, what's gonna happen? Like, such a crazy way to look at life.
Yeah.
But your brain just does that, I think. But yeah, when I would start being like, oh, I'm happy, like life is going good, I'm like, but what's wrong? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like,
no, it is a very scary thought.
Yeah. But I think it's also like now I'm very sympathetic to people that are going through loss. Yeah. And I think that's another reason why people go through loss is so you can help other people going through loss.
Yeah,
like
that's true. So. That's definitely a brighter way to look at it, to know that like it didn't happen for nothing. Like you can use your pain and your sadness to help someone who feels that same way.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, what else good comes from it?
But you did go to college. You didn't serve a mission.
Did not serve a mission.
You did not want to serve a mission. You were a Utah girl, but you did not serve a mission.
Yes. Can I tell you a funny story?
Please, let's change it. Let's make you laugh, cry, not sad cry.
No, I just am like, just on that note, like there were some guys that I went on dates with that they're like, normally this is what they would use on the first date. Normally I'd only date return missionaries, but I decided to take you out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, excuse me?
They decided to take you out because you're beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed, gorgeous woman, and they're so annoying for even saying, like, but
how funny is that? And then instantly I'm like, take me home.
Like, I'm done. Was that in college?
In college, yes.
Because when did you meet Derik?
I met Derik in college. It was like shortly after that, but I had like this period of dating life that.
So Derik didn't say that to you?
No, thankfully. You're like, and then I married him.
And then I said, okay, well, let's get married.
Yes, no.
No, what was your first date with Derik? How'd you guys meet?
Okay, so we met super random hiking with a group of friends.
Okay.
Like, I got invited. So, little backstory. I hiked Mount Timpanogos. This is an 8-hour hike for people that don't know. And it's
I wouldn't know.
Straight. You don't know?
I don't.
live in Utah.
The nature, not my thing.
Nature's not your thing. Okay. Well, it's not really my thing either. So that's why it's funny. It's funny. Yeah. 8-hour hike straight up. Like,
it's like a mini Mount Everest.
Yes. And during the time I hiked this, I was like, this is the last time I will ever be on this mountain. I'm going to enjoy it, but this is the last time I ever do this.
Yeah.
And then a week later, my friend was like, everyone wants to go hike Tip. And I was like, no, you don't understand. My legs are still sore from hiking it a week ago. No. I said I would never do it again. I'm not going to do it. And it was midnight. They wanted to start hiking at midnight. I'm like, do you remember the days of when you could just in college just like go at midnight? midnight.
So then they wouldn't get done till like 8 in the morning.
The point was to see the sunrise at like 7 or something. And I'm like,
stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I am fully agreeing with you that it's so dumb. Anyway, so I was like, I'm not doing that. And she was like on my couch, my friend and I, we fell asleep. And at midnight, she like woke me up and she's like, we gotta go. I was like, no, I am not doing this. She's like, and there was a guy that she thought was really cute going. And she's like, I need like a wing moment. I was like, I don't even know these people. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Anyway, I ended up going.
Good friend.
Oh, man. No, but it ended up working in my favor, I guess. Yeah, so that's where we met. We did a good handshake. He never told me his name. And then he and 2 of the other boys that were there ran it. So I didn't see him the whole They ran it? They ran it. They
ran up the mountain.
Up the mountain. They got there like 3 hours before we got there.
Did Derik play college sports?
No, he didn't do college sports. He did high school, like a lot of sports in high school, and
the athletic ability to run that?
No, yeah.
No, they
were crazy. Yeah. So they got up there like 3 hours before. So we didn't talk. I talked to like everybody else, and then I hit my knee on a rock. I'm trying to make this a short story. Yeah. I hit my knee really bad on a rock, and he offered to help me because I was struggling. Yeah. I was like, and I was still sore from the week before.
And you're tennis. Were you still playing tennis at this time? You were, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, anyway, so he offered to help me up the rocks, and me being me, I was like, no, I'm fine, thanks. And I walked past him. And that was our only interaction the whole time.
That was the first time you met.
But I met him there. So yeah.
Okay. And then how did that rekindle? How did it go from don't help me up the rocks to I want to marry you?
So one of the guys there that also ran, crazy.
Okay. Crazy.
I'm just putting that out there. Crazy. Yeah. He was like, oh, he DM'd me on Instagram. It was like, you and your friend are so fun to hang out with. Like, would love to hang out again. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, like let's do something. He's like, what are you guys doing tonight? And he's like, I'm just with my friend Derik. Do you want to hang out? I was like, who the heck is Derik? Like, not knowing it was the guy that was on the hike.
Yeah, that tried to help you.
They tried to help me. Yeah. And I was so rude and feminist and just walked past him. I know. I'm like, isn't that my like Aladdin Jasmine moment that I just fully
passed that could have been the moment where you look in each other's eyes and it's like love at first sight.
Blew up by me just being like, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we ended up hanging out that night. I opened the door. I was like, oh, it's you. Like, and I was like, what is your name? Like, what? I don't know.
Reintroduce yourself.
Yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can put a face. I'm like, this is Derik. Okay. Yeah. And then we just like hung out that night. We went and did like a fire up the canyon. I sound like such an outdoorsy person.
No, you do. I'm like,
and this is what Derik thought I was, which is so funny. Like
he's like, this girl and me are gonna camp every day.
Look at this. I was wearing like a Patagonia hat, and it was my friend's. She lent me like the stuff.
He was like, we're gonna go rock climbing.
Super outdoorsy.
Let's go shopping at REI. Like, this is my dream, girl.
No, it's so funny. But like, I do like the outdoors, but it wasn't like the extent I think.
You kind of catfished a little, but you didn't mean to.
I didn't even mean to. Like, we just went and did it. It was fun. We like did a fire up the canyon. Derik and I really hit it off, which was great. We talked the whole time, and then no one's gonna believe me, but I left my purse in his car.
On accident.
Full accident. So he had to bring it back to me, and then every day after that we like spent together. So
yeah. Wait, that's actually a really cute love story because you don't hear a lot of cute love stories.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's usually like me and my husband met on Tinder. Like that's literally our love story.
Which honestly kind of works nowadays.
I know, but like I miss the days where it's like we met on a hike or we ran into each other at the grocery store. I left my purse in his car. Like you don't get those cute stories anymore. Yeah, so you probably got one of the last few good ones.
We're the last ones on earth.
Yeah, because how old are you?
28.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like Gen Z is not going to get those kind of stories.
Gen Z, we need to work. We need to work harder to make that.
You really need to start having human interaction.
Let's push this.
Maybe they should all go hike Mount Timpanogos.
Everybody go hike
at midnight. Right now. Have a good time.
Invite a girl.
Do it.
Call her. Don't text her.
You know what it's called? I was getting my nails done, and the girl next to me was a high schooler.
Yeah.
And they were talking about two manning. Do you know what two manning is?
No, you're making me feel old.
No,
Don't do this to me.
Sarah, I felt like the oldest fart that's ever walked into a building. They're like, yeah, we're going to two man tonight. I'm like, what is two man?
Okay, tell me.
And I was like, you mean like a double date? No. Two man is like when you have a girl and a boy and you both decide you're just going to hang out and make out.
Excuse me?
And I was like,
wait, like there's no strings. Everyone's just like, we're just making out.
We're just two manning. Let's go two man.
What?
Like, should we go two man them?
This is what I was scared of, is like being at the age where you don't know what's happening with the teenagers.
I don't even know. Like, what do you mean?
Two manning.
So you guys need a two man Timpanogos. And fall in love. There you go.
Fall in love.
Two man. Oh okay, gosh. So you guys fell in love. How soon did you guys get married?
We got married. The whole timeline adds up to like a year.
Oh, that's perfect. That's how I was too.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
It's really it's still pretty fast.
Your marriage does seem pretty effortless, though. You guys do seem like the perfect match. Has it always been like that?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, no one's marriage is like effortless, and it's like, right. Yeah, of course, like we're not posting our fights online. Yeah, of course, I'm not on a reality show right now. So.
No, would you? Would you be on a reality show?
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. I think if I would have asked you that before Secret Lives of Modern Wives, you probably would have been like, no. But now, does it change your mind a little bit because you see like the show isn't what people thought it was going to be?
I still just don't think I would.
You couldn't be that dramatic?
I think, no, that's the thing, is I think maybe I could. Well, I would say what I think. And I don't know if that would be like,
a good thing or
that's
bad
what
thing?
They would want, probably. Yeah. But like, I think I'd have a hard time not saying my opinion.
Yeah.
With things.
Gotcha.
And I also am just, I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt, but today's episode is brought to you by Spearmint Love. Mamas, have you seen the latest drop from Spearmint Love? Their new floral collection is here, and it's absolutely stunning. Think matching sunsuits and dresses made just for baby girls all the way up to 6 years old. Perfect for brunch with the fam, the upcoming outdoor wedding, or a sunny day at the beach. We're talking picture-perfect florals that instantly elevate her look without breaking the bank. Soft, breathable fabrics, thoughtful details, and styles that move with your little one. Because cute shouldn't mean uncomfortable. So if you want her to feel like a little flower queen this season, check out spearmintlove.com and grab your favorites before they bloom away. You can use code WEEKLYTRASH at checkout for an exclusive discount. Thank you, Spearmint Love, for sponsoring today's episode.
I don't want people to have the impression that like my marriage is perfect, because it's definitely not.
But I think it's okay if a marriage is kind of perfect.
Yeah, but
that's kind of what you want, right?
I mean, it is. Yeah, it is. But it's like, no, we definitely like have our things, and like we've struggled with a ton of things that I feel like are normal in a relationship. And I do think it, like, at least for us, it's always like, okay, we've had really good times. We've had some low times. We've had some like where we're just happy and we're like good, and I think it's all okay. I think, but it's not effort. I feel like it takes a lot of work to live with someone of the opposite gender, honestly,
especially when it's your first time ever.
First time, yeah. And it's just like, we were so young when we got married.
Yeah, how old were you? 20?
I was 19. He was 20. So
I didn't realize he was that young too.
Yeah, so I was 19 and 20. Luckily I turned 20 like a couple months after. That in there. No.
Yeah.
No, but we were like really young, and I feel like we have had to do a lot of work to like be where we are, and we still like have fights, and we still like disagree on things, and we think very differently, and it's okay. It's just like, it is a lot of work. Like
marriage is work, but I don't think marriage should ever feel like hard. Like,
no, yeah.
Like, I think when I hear people be like, marriage is so hard, I'm like, no, like life is hard.
Yeah.
And like, marriage can feel hard if life is hard at the time. But like,
and I think like, sometimes marriage will be hard, but then sometimes it's like great, you know, and that's all fine. But I think like mostly it's just learning to deal with someone that's different than you, you know, because unless you marry like your exact person the way that you think, it's like, of course things are going to come up.
For sure. But you guys have been married for what? 7 years?
Nine
years?
I think 9. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you got married at 19.
Yeah.
That's right.
We got married in 16.
But you were 19.
I was 19. Yeah. We got married in 2016.
I got married in 2016 too.
Oh,
April 23rd.
Oh, we were 2 months after. June.
Yeah. Did you get married in Salt Lake Temple? No.
We did Timpanogos.
Yeah. Well, you had to. Timpanogos.
Yeah.
You guys
honestly didn't even think about that. No, didn't even think about that, but that's funny.
Well, now you're
the first person to point that out.
Wait, really?
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, for those who might be missing what I just did there, they met at Mount Timpanogos and they got married in the Timpanogos Temple. Yes. Even though those two are not near each other, but they're named Timpanogos.
That is
so.
We should have named our kid Timp.
No, you really should have. What were you thinking?
What, Jack? What?
Crazy.
Why did we do that? No.
That was crazy of you.
It's so crazy.
Change the middle name to Tim.
No, seriously.
A little Timp in there.
I always joked with Derik because you know how he fell off a cliff?
I didn't know that until recently.
Okay.
When you were posting about all the head injury stuff, I was like,
his
wait,
brain
what?
camp that he was doing or whatever. Yeah. I joked with him and I was like, should we name our son Cliff if we have a son?
How old was he when he fell off?
He was 14. So, traumatic brain injury, but we joke about it now. Obviously, I'm like,
Timp and Cliff.
We're onto something.
I love it. So when you guys got married, obviously he wanted to go to med school. That's obviously not what he ended up doing.
Yeah.
What did you want to do?
I honestly didn't have like a solid plan. I was coaching tennis. Like when I was done with the tennis team, I got a coaching job at a club. So I was doing that a lot. And then I picked up photography too. So I was doing the double job until the photography kind of took off. And then I was done with the tennis job and then just was doing photography.
You got started in like social media with photography.
Kind of, yeah. It was more just like we were in Hawaii and I was a wedding photographer and I had like all my weddings booked out. And then COVID hit 2020 and all my weddings. No, Hawaii was like one of the most shut down places, you know,
and like the worst place to be stuck.
Exactly. Nobody could get in, no one could get out. It was just, we were kind of just stuck there.
Yeah.
And the rules were a little wild. Like,
because it's like, oh, we're by the beach. Let's go to the beach. Nope.
Yeah, nope. They wouldn't let us go to the beach, you know, and that's the reason we lived there. Yeah. Was to go to the beach.
With not no air conditioning.
In our no air conditioning studio apartment. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So that's when all my income, like I was the only person making money. And
was Derik like in school?
He was in school.
Online?
He was at BYUH. So
okay.
Yeah, because we were over there. And so he was getting his degree and so I was making the money and it's expensive to live out there. And so all my weddings got canceled. We didn't have like a huge chunk in the bank. So we were just like, what do we do? Like, I don't have a job anymore. There's no way for me to make money right now during COVID. I considered going to be a waitress or just like any jobs that were still open at the time because everything was just ghost town. But it was Derik's idea. He just was saying, let's start making videos. Like, what do you mean making videos? Like, how is that gonna solve our problems? Like, what? I'm just more of like the logical, like how is I couldn't see the connection.
Yeah, you didn't see the vision.
Yeah, and he was like, well, it's TikTok. I don't know. It'd just be fun. We have nothing else to do.
Because his brother and Lo, were doing it at the time or not really?
They had like kind of dabbled. Like she was definitely more into like oh, have you gotten this new app? It's just like fun. And it was all like for fun videos at the time.
Yeah, like, TikTok was different back then.
Yeah, it was more
it's how people survived COVID.
Exactly. It was just to like entertain us, you know? But yeah, she definitely was like more of like into the photography photos of herself and posting her and Tanner. So she definitely like
in that content area.
More. It was like transitioning. So Derik was like, let's just try. Let's just like make a couple videos. We have nothing else to do. So we did. And then it just kind of blew up that year during COVID. We just made a bunch of videos and it's so weird to think about how it was just not really on my radar. But
because back then was the creator fund. Did that exist in 2020? How were people making money off of TikTok back then?
Yeah, I mean, it was. That didn't get introduced until a little bit later, though, I think.
Because, like, how did you...
I could be wrong.
Were you getting brand deals at that point?
No. So, like, we were not making any money for, like, a long time. I think it was we started making videos around, like, honestly, like, January, February of that year. I don't think we got like our first brand deal until like tiny little brand deal until like that summer or like September-ish of that year.
Do you remember how much it was?
I think it was like $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone always remembers their first one.
Stoked. Yeah. Oh, I was like through the roof. Like, we made money from doing this. I just am posting this or whatever.
$100?
And yeah, I was stoked. But I mean, yeah, we would get like start getting stuff sent to us and things like that. But I never expected it to be like
what it was.
What it was.
When did it become what it is now? Where like that is your livelihood? Like, because Derik doesn't use his degree, does he?
No, I mean, other than like handling like or finance, he got his degree in finance, so that helps in a sense. But no, he's not using it for a job purpose.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I think it was around the end of 2020 when we were like, oh, this is like, we can make this like our job. But it was like a lot of grinding still.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And now.
I think people just look at it like it just happened for you and it's like, that's great. Like,
no. Well, because you have to keep making content together.
Yeah. Well, and you have to like keep changing because the industry changes like every other month, you know?
Yeah.
Like video wasn't even a thing on Instagram when this was all starting. And so it's like you have to be able to like pivot and change. And it's definitely a full-time job between the two of us.
And then you become a parent.
And then you become a parent and you balance everything. Yeah. And it's hard, but I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Oh, I think it's probably like the best job as a parent because you get to pick your hours.
Exactly. Yeah. No, we are beyond grateful. We talk about it all the time. We're like, I don't know how it turned into this. And it is crazy because looking back, we were both like, we're done. We don't know what to do. We need to move back to Utah. We need to do all these things. And it just like, we feel really lucky that
and now
we put in the work and it worked out.
Yeah.
So
and now you're able to do this full time. Like, well, you've been able to do this full time for almost 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was 5 years ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And when did you feel ready to have a baby?
That was kind of like, it was kind of interesting because when we were in Hawaii, I'm sure like everybody saw like all the Hawaii girls pregnant.
Everyone got pregnant. It was perfect. It was perfect content.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. I'm like so happy for all of them. That was like kind of close to when we got there. And so it really made us like, you know, people can get FOMO or whatever. Yeah. I'm not like a huge FOMO person, which I'm kind of grateful for.
Yeah. That's really good, especially in this industry that you don't get FOMO.
Yeah. So we really like looked at it and was like, okay, like everyone's having kids the same age, but like, are we ready?
Yeah.
And we are so happy for all of them, but we just like took a look at it and I'm like, okay, we've only been married like 2 years at this point, and like I still don't feel like we weren't in a financially, not that you have to, like we weren't really financially stable when we had Jack, but I just didn't feel ready at that point when that was all going on. And I was so excited to be an auntie though. Yeah. I was like, okay, but for me, I just like think I need like at least another year. So we waited another year after that. And then I was like, okay. And I had been around all the babies and I was like, this is so fun. And I got to like have a little bit more time with Derik out in Hawaii because we had just moved out there and it felt like the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And did that pregnancy go well?
Yeah.
Because I think your first time becoming a mom, the only time you first become a mom is because the first baby is when you become a mom. Yes. I think it's different for a lot of people. Some people, it's like it was super easy. A lot of people are like, that was the hardest transition, 0 to 1.
Yeah.
Because for you, you have 2. You're about to have your third.
Yeah.
Do you think 0 to 1 was easier than 1 to 2 or harder?
0 to 1 was harder for us.
Okay.
Than 1 to 2. And I don't think it was just the lifestyle change. Like Jack, our son, who is like literally a little angel boy right now. Like I feel so grateful that he's like that. But when he was a newborn, he was really hard. Like really, really hard. It was just like the doctors were like, it's just colic. Like there's nothing you can do. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like he would scream for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day. He wouldn't eat. He wouldn't like poop. He wouldn't go. Like there were so many things and we tried everything. And it was just like, so that like rocked us because it wasn't just like we had like this chill little newborn that would like sit on us,
little beach bum
baby that was like the greatest thing ever. It was like, oh my gosh, like how are we gonna get through this? Like we love this little thing so much, but
shut
how
up.
are we? No, literally, it was like we would have to take turns and be like, okay, I physically can't do this anymore, so I'm gonna pass him to you, and then you take your turn, and then like, oh, like luckily we were there together because I'm like, if I had the colicky baby just by myself, not being able to have a break, like so much respect for the moms that like the dad is gone, they're like dealing with that because it's hours on end, like and looking back I'm like, I think it was just like he was in pain with something, whether it was his stomach or his ears or whatever. Like we tried a million different formulas, we tried like everything, we went to the doctor, I did so much research, and it was just like he just eventually grew out of it.
How old do you think he was?
He was like 6 or 7 months when we were like, oh my gosh, like he's not crying every second. Like it was starting to get better, and then it just got better and better like over time. Like, and it was amazing. At that point I was like, oh my gosh, like this is such a different life. But I like do see a lot of those moms that are just like newborn heaven, and I'm like,
what are you talking about?
That can happen. That can happen.
Was your second like that?
She was a lot more like that, where I started to get like the taste of like, oh, like
babies are fun.
Yeah, she was still a little feisty, and she cried like a normal baby. I would say she was just like a normal baby. She wasn't like an angel baby. She wasn't like Jack. She was just normal. So.
When did you feel ready to have a second though? Because I feel like that would be kind of scary to be like, oh wait, do we want to do that again?
I had to like kind of forget, and then I was like, I was surrounded by a lot of babies that also weren't like that. So I'm like, I think that was just like you never know what your baby's going to be like. So I think we wanted them close in age. So when I was like, oh, they'll be 2.5 years apart like that. Yeah. I'm good now. Like,
when I do think 2.5 years is like the best age gap.
Yeah. So we felt ready when Sunny came along. So.
And now you're pregnant again.
What was your original question? I'm so sorry.
No, that was perfect. That went great. I think my original question was, when did you know you were ready to be a mom?
Okay, yeah.
So that flowed great.
Yeah.
And when did you know you're ready for a third? Was this planned?
This was planned. Yeah. We wanted a bigger age gap with this one. So I wanted like a 3-year age gap with this one, because I think when they hit that like 3-year, at least with Jack, I'm like, you're fully like, and I feel like they get what's going on. Like it just seems like a more chill time.
Because how old is Sunny right now?
She is 2.5.
Okay.
So we went like a little bit before the 3-year, but just so it was planned. And also I've talked about this, but I have endometriosis, so I never know how long. Like my doctor's always like, just plan, like it could be longer, it could be not.
Did you have any miscarriages?
So lucky, but no, I never did. My mom had so many that I thought when I would start having kids that was going to be my thing, which I'm very grateful, very lucky, because it's very common, and it's so sad, but I haven't had that. So and you're in your 3rd trimester now. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm like out of breath. Yeah.
This is a lot of work. This was a lot of work. Podcasting is a lot of work for those who don't know.
Yeah. Like, I'm huffing and puffing.
It's a workout. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I need a fan. Give me a fan. No, but the 3rd trimester, I feel like you start to kind of see the light at the end tunnel, but also 3rd trimester in the summer, I had a summer baby. You did. And I feel you. Like the heat and it's happening. Exhaustion. It's happening. Do you think you'll did all your babies come on time? Were they early? Were they late?
Jack was like 6 days late. Okay. And then I got induced with Sunny.
Okay. So do you think you'll get induced again?
I really liked my experience being induced. I did too. So why not?
Yeah.
Nothing's set in stone yet.
Have you done all vaginal births?
Yep.
And medicated?
I did. I tried to get medicated with Jack, the first one.
The unmedicated with Jack, you tried to?
No, I did. I tried to get the epidural.
Oh, you wanted medicated.
And it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
No, like they gave me the epidural, but it didn't work. I think the guy put it in wrong or something happened. It was just in a spot where.
So it was a non-choice to have an unmedicated.
So that was a little scary being my first baby. Because I was like, why can I feel everything?
Like that was traumatizing.
Yes. Yeah. And then,
especially when you don't plan for that.
Yeah. And with Sunny, that was like a huge thing of like, do I want to try and do that again? Because my doctor's like, there's a chance it could do that again for you.
Yeah.
But it fully worked with Sunny.
Okay.
And it was so fun. It was so great. It was.
So that's
I enjoyed the birth. I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
But
all birth plans are great plans.
They're all great. And
all
honestly,
great.
like, yeah, I just think because it was so good with Sunny and it worked. And I was like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. That of course, I mean, we were, Lo and I were just in there like, dancing and like laughing. I was like, oh, that was a contraction on the monitor. Didn't know. Like, it was, it was fun. Then it was time to push. And I'm like, okay, it's like, obviously you feel a little pain, but it's not like
the Ring of Fire.
It was the Ring of Fire. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got you.
You feel that.
Yeah. Do you want more kids or do you feel like 3 would be a good number to stop?
And this has been the biggest question because I haven't ever had to think about it when I've been pregnant, because when we had 2, I always knew I wanted another one.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where we could be done and this could be our family and we'd be totally happy with that.
Yeah. But
also I'm like, but do I want a 4th? Although I keep running into people lately that have 4 kids. Almost every single one is like, it's a lot.
Wait, really? Yes. Okay, that makes me feel better because I feel like everyone I talk to, because I have 3 kids, and they're like, just have the 4th. And I'm like, no.
Really?
Like,
okay.
So that makes you feel good. The people that you're talking to,
the people that I'm talking to, I'm like, maybe I'm getting the other side, but
give me some of your side.
There's been like 1 or 2. They're like, no, it's great. Like you could do 4, and I'm like, but then there's like the people that are like, we were great at 3.
Now it's a circus.
Then the 4th like threw them for a loop.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just feel it out.
I love that.
As it goes. We'll just
never say never.
Never say never. Yeah.
I'm a big believer in never say never.
Exactly.
You just
like I'm not gonna say no, I'm done. Exactly.
You just don't
know. My fear, this is just a dumb fear, but my fear is like I'll be like ready for a 4th. And then it'll be like twins or like triplets or something.
No, I was just about to say that.
That's my fear.
Do twins run in your family?
No, but they don't run in my family, but my sister-in-law just had twins and they don't run in any side of her family. So I'm like,
no, because that's my biggest fear. Because my mom was pregnant with twins. My sister was a twin, but the one didn't make it. And then my grandma on my mom's side had twins. So and then my grandma on my dad's side is a twin. So I'm like, me or my sister, one of us is having twins.
Someone. It's like, it's roulette.
And I'm like,
at this point,
I've gotten 3 out without twins. So like, it's going to be you. But I kind of want it to be her. Because then I can be the fun auntie to twins.
Yes.
I'm like, you have no idea how lucky you are to have an older sister when you have a baby. Because I'm the oldest, just me and my sister. When I had a kid, there was nobody who wanted to babysit.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like my in-laws and my mom.
Yeah.
But like, I'm so pumped for my sister to have kids. I'm like, someone get her pregnant. Like she's
seriously.
Fully single right now. I'm like, go get knocked up. Like, please. Because I'm so baby hungry, but I don't want a freaking baby.
Yeah.
So
that will be so fun because your kids will be older. Yeah. And then you can just like,
my oldest will probably be like 10 by the time she has her first.
But that's so fun.
And we can just like babysit. We'll be like, bring over the baby.
Then she can get help. You can get the baby fix.
Like I'll literally be like, go to bed, take a nap. We want the baby for the day.
I know that is kind of the rough part about like having babies the same time. People's like, no one's got time to help you. They're dealing with their baby.
No, you and Lo are both in the thick of it. Who's further along?
I'm only 2 weeks ahead of her. So we like are right there gonna be in it together, which is great, but it's also just like I'm not gonna be helping you, you're not gonna be helping me.
Well, you share the same mother-in-law.
Exactly.
Who's gonna help?
No, seriously.
Pick a stick.
Yeah, pick a stick.
No, oh my gosh. Well, last question before we do Trash Topic Can. Do you see yourself in Utah forever, or would you move back to Hawaii?
Oh man. I asked
Lo this too, and she was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's always a question. So for right now, we're happy with where we're at. Like at least for the next couple of years, we're here.
You're here.
We're here. Well, I guess I can't say like for sure. I'm not gonna put a for sure on that.
Like, we're for sure here.
But like our plan as of right now, thinking in my head, is we will be here for the next couple of years. After that, Derik has always wanted to try out California. So I don't know. There's always this pull because he's such a beach guy and a surfer, And we do love the ocean, and I love my things like pickleball and tennis, and and that seems like a good healthy in between from Utah and California. So we've definitely always like dreamt about like, oh, what would our family life be like there? Yeah. So that's always open-ended. I don't know. Could be a possibility. I don't think we'd ever move back full-time to Hawaii.
Gotcha.
Like have our kids go to like school and like make that like our home, but I would love to be able to go back there all the time. And you know,
did you always live on the same island?
Yeah.
Which island was it again?
Oahu.
Okay, that's right.
So I don't know where we'll be, but I don't foresee it would probably either be Utah or California.
Sorry to interrupt, but today's episode is brought to you by Cafe Rio. I love Cafe Rio. You love Cafe Rio. We all love Cafe Rio. Okay. Cafe Rio is the best place to go to choose flavor. Okay. My go-to is a sweet pork salad with that homemade, made from scratch tortilla. Yes. Made from scratch daily with light black beans, all the toppings, and a big old thing of ranch, because that stuff is my favorite thing on this earth. Okay. Cafe Rio is so delicious. And it's also such a good place to just, you know, get your comfort meal, feel good, eat good, and just enjoy yourself. You deserve a Cafe Rio meal. Okay. And not only do they have the sweet pork, which is iconic and my favorite, but also the polo asado. I feel like not enough people are talking about it. It's fire grilled with bold seasoning that just really, it hits the spot. Okay. And luckily for listeners, if you go online and use code WEEKLYTRASH, you will get 10% off your order. So if you're like me and you're a Cafe Rio addict and you're looking for your next hit, head on over to Cafe Rio and use code WEEKLYTRASH online. And don't forget to get that ranch. Okay. Love you. Bye. And thank you, Cafe Rio, for sponsoring today's episode.
Derik and I both like grew up in Utah. We both went to high school here. We did our whole lives here. And it's like, well, maybe it'd be fun to give our kids like something a little different. I don't know. Yeah. Where not everything looks, because I mean, you know how Utah is. Everything is very like much. It is not it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but it's very much like a lot of the same if you get into like kind of where we live. And I feel like maybe it's not such a bad thing to give them like a little bit something different.
It's definitely a bubble here.
Yeah.
And California has like a bit of a bubble in certain pockets.
Yeah.
But
there's
overall,
like a lot
there's
more
so much
to
more.
Like, yeah.
There's so much more.
It just seems like they're,
very diverse.
Exactly. Yes.
All different walks of life.
Yeah. And I would love for our kids to like be exposed to all of that, or
for sure.
Whether that's through travel or like we live somewhere else or whatever. So.
Well, I'm excited to see where you end up. I'm excited to see the baby.
The baby.
Do you have a name?
I think we do. Like,
that's
we're like
exciting.
Pretty sure on it.
That's exciting. That's like a big thing when you feel like you know the name of your child.
Yeah, it's so funny though. I feel like.
Did you feel that with all of them?
Jack, we knew instantly we wanted Jack. Like that was just like a for sure. And then Sunny, we actually thought was gonna be Rosie. Like that was kind of the name we had for her, and then it just changed when I was pregnant with her. And
I love Sunny.
Yeah.
Did you read Series of Unfortunate Events?
Okay, I didn't. This got brought up like recently. I did read all of them, but I forgot. I forgot.
Or Lemony Snicket? I don't even know.
The baby was Sunny, right?
Yeah.
I totally spaced that until
I used to always want to name my daughter Sunny because of that book. I don't know why I didn't, honestly, because that was like one of my like go-to names. I don't know where Bentley came from, but that just happened.
Yeah, we had it for a boy or a girl, and then we were just like, oh, okay, I guess we're not doing Rosie. I thought for sure Sunny was going to be Rosie, but
I love the name Sunny.
This one was also like on my name list, but I didn't expect us to like
land on it,
but we did.
Well, that's exciting.
Thanks. Yeah.
Well, before I let you leave, you do have to pick a topic from this trash can. This little team. It's called TRASHTOPICAN. You're just gonna pick a topic from there, and we're both gonna answer it.
Okay.
It's like a question.
Oh, you get to get quizzed too.
Yeah, we both get to answer it.
Okay.
So you don't feel like you're on the spot.
My hand is stuck.
You're like, it's a teeny tiny one. It's teeny tiny.
Okay, it's the cutest trash can I've ever seen. Okay.
It's from the dollar store. If anybody needs one.
Put it up
at the tiny
I'll put the
trash
link
can
for you.
I'll link it.
Okay. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Oh, what is the best advice you've ever received?
You go first.
You know what? I think somebody else pulled this and they must have put it back in because I feel like I answered this. No, we can do this one too. We can do this.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of advice that I've loved that I've gotten.
That's good. I'm like,
you're like, cool. What's advice? Like, what do you mean? No, I think some advice that I was given recently that I really enjoyed, and I need to give credit to her. Oh, wait, before I give credit, I need to know her exact Instagram handle because she'll be mad at me because I talked about this on an episode and she was like, you didn't give me any credit. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. I didn't give you any credit. And so now I'm giving you the credit.
Credit is due.
Her handle is Freckled Han and her name's Hannah. And she gave me the advice that motherhood is a relationship, not a job. And so a lot of times, like, we categorize motherhood as cleaning, doing the dishes, making sure the house is tidy, making sure we're on time for school and carpool and all these things that anyone could do. Anyone can do those jobs. Yes. Not everyone can be your child's mother or father.
Oh, that's cool.
And so once you separate those two to where like motherhood is a relationship, and as long as your child knows that you love them and they feel safe and they feel appreciated and seen, that is so much more important than if they know that you're the one making their bed every morning and cleaning the house and making the food and doing all the chores of the home, because that's being a homemaker. That's not being a mom.
I love that.
And I think as someone who's a working mom, I definitely needed that because I think you feel a lot of mom guilt if you're not the best homemaker. I've had to learn to like separate those two, that like that is not motherhood. Motherhood is a relationship.
I love that.
So yeah, you get all the credit for that, Hannah.
Freckled Han. Hannah Freg.
She's all about teaching women that motherhood isn't supposed to be this job, because a lot of people are like, that. I hate being a mom because they think I hate having to fold laundry. I hate having
everything
to make
that
dinner.
Comes with it. Yeah.
But that's not motherhood. Motherhood is the relationship between you and
like
your
how
kid.
do your kids feel? Like if your kid could rate like how your relationship is.
Like do they love being with you and do they love you?
That's such a good reminder. At the end of the day, what's important?
What's like that is motherhood.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
That. Oh my gosh. Okay.
That was really good.
I should have just gone first. Wow. Okay. Okay. I feel like yours was like a legit quote. Like you pulled it out of
It's because she had just gotten mad at me the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to give credit where credit's due. So I was like, easy peasy.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're like, what?
I'm like, I don't know.
Like advice.
Okay, best advice. Give me one more second.
I'll give you one more second.
Okay. I was so into what you were saying too. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Okay, no, I think didn't you ask me this on like the
on the Vivint thing? I said, what was the worst advice someone's ever given you about content creation?
Okay.
And you said stay in your niche.
Okay,
you said people would give you that advice.
Okay,
which is bad advice.
Bad advice.
You don't need to stay in your niche. But what's some good advice? Maybe even about content.
See, and I can't even think about like a specific quote of it, but I feel like the best advice I've been given is like to like not look at other people around you. I don't know, or just like
for sure
comparison, like that kind of
put
a
your
thing
blinders
of advice.
on.
So yeah, like put your blinders on, like be nice to everybody, and just like for sure. I feel like the biggest issue with just everything now is just everyone can see everybody's life and comparing, and I guess this is more kind of like content creation.
Oh yeah,
but like even just for like teens or kids, or like we didn't have that when we were going to high school, and I feel like that can like fully
it's a lot
of information that we're processing at all times,
we're not supposed
and
to.
We're not supposed to. There was like a thing, or somebody did a podcast or something where they talked about like, no, we're literally not supposed to be having this information, like all of this coming in at once. And it's so like overstimulating for our brains. And so I feel like just like focusing more on you and your own life, like best advice ever. Like
best advice.
Like stop looking at everyone else.
Thief
like,
of joy.
Yes, exactly. And it's like cheesy, but it's like, no, literally, like your life will be changed if you can just look at yourself. Not what everyone else is doing. Like,
is there something that you do to like help you with that? Because I struggle with that, and maybe you get to a certain point where you're so successful and like you don't feel like you compare yourself as much, but as like people like me, you know, the micros out here.
No,
I
think everybody's still doing it because it's just a different level. There's always going to be someone out there that has something that you want. It doesn't even matter like how successful you are or what you're doing. Like someone is always going to be doing something more. For sure. And I don't know if there's like any specific thing that helps, but it's just like recognizing when you're doing it. Yeah. So you can stop it. Because it's like when you start getting into it and then just like spiraling and it can just like get taken so far, because I think it's not realistic as a human to like expect that that's not going to happen ever, or just be like, I'm so good that never happens to me, but I think it's just like recognizing when it pops into your head in the moment, like, oh, I'm doing that thing. Stop it. Okay, stop it. And like cut it off and be like, okay, what do I love? Or like tell yourself the positive things. Good? Like, I think for sure.
Focusing on the good for sure. I literally got tattooed, see good, do good.
No way.
Just out of nowhere. No, just out of nowhere. I literally, don't even ask me why I did that. It was so random, but I was like, wait, no, I kind of like it though. Like, see good, do good.
I love it.
I was like, why not put it on my body forever? And then I did. And now I say it at the end of every episode. Question for you.
How did you decide where to put your tattoos? Because that's the only reason I haven't got one yet.
That was another question I asked you at Vivid was, would you ever get a tattoo? And you said yes. Yes. What would you get? A butterfly?
No, so my sister, back to my sister, like she drew like this ironic, but she used to draw this little angel all over everything. Like her notebooks, we still have it everywhere. So I got a lot of those little angel drawings, like, no way. And I picked one. I was like, okay, this one reminds me the most of like her, whatever. And so I'm just gonna get that somewhere. But
you have to.
Right? I have to.
You have to.
Like it wouldn't be
How big is it?
It's small. I would just get it small.
I feel like I love small tattoos on like the wrists.
Okay, yeah.
I just feel like you got to go on Pinterest and you just got to look at other people's hands and arms.
That's why I didn't get it. And then I got pregnant and I was like, okay, gotta wait 9 months. Wait.
No, but that's crazy. Like, what are the odds of that?
Exactly. So I'm like, this is perfect. Like, and it has so much meaning.
This. Yeah. That's the thing. You get to a point in tattoos where they don't mean anything anymore, like me. And I was like, I just wanted.
Like, still so cool.
Well, because what happened was I wanted cursive and I wanted it here. And I was like, it needs to be 4 letters because I wanted a certain length and I wanted it to look good.
Yeah.
And so I was like going through certain things. I'm like, what's something that I can put on my body that will like be good for me to look at every day? And I was like, see good. Do good.
Love it. Yes. Like running with it.
All right, let's do it. Like it was the most spur of the moment. I really should have thought more about it, but I love it. And now I end every episode with see good, do good.
I love it. There you go.
We're turning it into branding.
You turned it into your brand. Love it.
Making t-shirts.
Started on your arm. Now it's in the brand.
Now it's started from the arm. Now it's here. Now we're going to start branding it. It's fine.
No, that's great.
Well, Sarah, thanks so much for letting me dumpster deep dive you and chatting with you and giving great advice and just being a gem of a human.
You're so
nice. Can't wait to see all the things that you do and see the baby.
Thank you.
And hopefully, you know, if you ever want to come back, like you can.
Would love to.
You can be a recycled guest. I'd love you back.
I'd love to be recycled.
Yes. You heard that first, guys. She said it. She said it.
She's going to haunt me and track me down.
I'm just going to start sending you the recycle emoji every month. Just, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, you guys.
Next time I won't be so sniffly.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you'll have like this beautiful birth story and you can just like cry and share it.
I hope it's beautiful.
It'll be so beautiful.
I hope I'm not here sitting in the chair like crying.
No,
over
it'll be good,
else.
happy, beautiful tears.
All the good vibes.
Yeah, if you do cry again, it'll be beautiful.
Okay,
it'll be beautiful. Yes. Okay, you guys, I hope you have the best week and don't forget to take out your trash. Bye.
Bye.